Then, of course, there was the dreadful, dreadful atrocity of the Myall Creek massacre, where a party of stockmen attacked an Aboriginal encampment and killed up to 30, wantonly butchered up to 30 Aboriginal people. And in the Sky doco, I speak with Nathan Blacklock and his brother, who are the descendants of a survivor of that atrocious massacre. Now, in the aftermath of the massacre, Governor Gipps and his Attorney General, the wonderful John Plunkett, who deserves to be much better known to modern Australia, they determined that there had to be an investigation. And after some weeks, the accused were brought to Sydney for trial. The jury initially refused to convict. Plunkett, showing great determination as well as incredible humanity, thought, well, this is not good enough. So he brought fresh charges against most of the original perpetrators. The second judge was absolutely emphatic that this was a horrific crime, crying out to heaven for justice. The jury did convict, and 7 white men were hanged for the murder of black people. This is back in 1838. So while there was an act of indescribable horror perpetrated on these innocent Aboriginal people, in this particular instance, British justice did its work. And that was because of Governor Gipps, Attorney General Plunkett, and a system which, for all its failings, appreciated that in the end Aboriginal people were no less British subjects than the settlers. Now, Plunkett, very interesting character. Plunkett was an Irish Catholic, and at a time when Catholics were still under disabilities in Britain, he was appointed Attorney General here in New South Wales, and he did his best here in the Myall Creek case. And then some years later, a rascal, a villain called Coots up near Grafton, was responsible, it seems, for a poisoning of some 20 Indigenous people. Again, Plunkett investigated, brought Coots to trial for Sydney. In this instance, though, no conviction could be secured because in those days, Aboriginal people were thought, being non-Christian, to be incapable of swearing on a Bible and therefore giving testimony in court. Well, Plunkett tried to get the law changed so that Coots could be brought to justice. He lost 10-9 in the Legislative Council, and his contemporaneous notes say, look, as a result of this deficiency in the law, it seems that an atrocious crime will go unpunished. But a few years later, this was rectified. So even at a time of prejudice, discrimination, and even, dare I say it, racism, even at a time when on the frontiers of settlement, yes, some horrible, ugly things were taking place, there was also decency, benevolence, goodwill, and an attempt to do the right thing. And at all times on the frontier, the explorers would not have been able to discover, in inverted commas, what was new to British Australian eyes, but for the Aboriginal guides that they had. The squatters would not have been able to work the land, but for the assistance of Aboriginal stockmen and shepherds and so on. So from the very beginning, the story of Australia has been a story of cooperation and partnership as well as of conflict.